That is a glass. That is a jar of sugar. This is a jar of self-raising flour. That is a jar of normal flour. Yes. Hopefully you're tagging along with what I'm saying. These jars aren't labelled, and I have now mixed up the flour and self-raising flour when making something, and something went not so well, which was quite wasteful. Now the glass or the jar of sugar is pretty easy to tell the difference to. It's got that sort of sugary sort of sparkle to it. But knowing me, I'm going to stuff that up too. And I've got a few of these jars hanging around. I've got, hang on, let me check. So that's 3. I've got 12 of these jars all in total. It would appear I cannot count. There's 13 jars there, but anyway. And I think we should label them. Now, originally I was just going to go out and buy just a heap load of labels or just print some off. But then I remembered I have my soldering iron, which has a heap load of different attachments for it. And I think we might, on these little edges here, would burn in some labels, some names and stuff on them, because I have not done something like that in a long time, not since school. So I'm really looking forward to doing it. And I'm really looking forward to not mixing these up. If I'm 100% honest with you, I did just drop one of these. I put them both down in well, one I dropped. The other one I put down really quick, and I was carrying them both at the same time. So I don't actually know which one's self-raising and normal flour. I think this one's normal flour, and I think this one is self-raising. I don't know. You know, I haven't used a pencil in like forever. It took me so long to find one. Anyway, we got one now. This is a jar of baking soda. So, I don't know how this wood's gonna burn. I have no idea what it's gonna look like. I imagine it's pretty soft wood. Wouldn't have a clue. Anyway, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna burn the underside of this just to see how it looks like. I'm thinking I'm going to write in pencil first and then trace it with the wood burning thing. From memory, even though I haven't done this in like 7-8 years, or maybe even longer than that, it could be like a decade. From memory, wood burning like can be a bit tricky, so it's easier just to trace something. Anyway, we're gonna give it a shot. So that there is the K. There's a B, there's going to be an A and an E in the middle, I haven't done that yet. Yeah. Bit mediocre. This is like I mean, like, you can tell what it is now. Looks like garbage though. It looks like absolutely garbage. I wonder if this is a thing worth persevering. Like, I'm sure with a bit of practice it will look better, but it is really hard to steady my hand. Actually, I've had an idea. Wait there. Oh, this is a 3D printer. I bought it years ago. I had intentions to use it a lot, but then I've moved multiple times since, and I don't have a place to put it, so I haven't been able to use it. But I've always wanted to use it because I think it would come in handy just to learn that skill and to be able to print stuff to put it on, like for cars, for building different stuff on cars. And I reckon, now it's a resin printer, which I remember doing research on, and there was a reason why I picked the resin printer. I can't remember why that is. But anyway, we've got it, and we can use it, and we can set it up and do everything. Oh look, I've got sticky stuff stuck on the screen. That's gonna cause problems. Oh, I think I've got it. I think I've found it. It says games on it, but I'm pretty sure that is where the instructions and stuff are. This isn't another 3D printer. I think this is a wash. Hey! Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, you go there. Hey! What do the other one? This has got to come out, so let's get up.
Wow. Okay. It's doing its thing!
Let me see if I can explain, other than the obvious, why I think this is so cool. So, like, I don't know how white's going to look on the jars. I might have to paint it. But anyway, it is really cool that it's doing this. The reason I'm so excited is because Father's Day is coming up, and I was going to make my dad a little plaque, but I was wondering how I'm going to get some lettering on there. I know you can get lettering like from craft stores, but it wasn't really what I wanted. Like, I wanted something a bit different. And now I can print whatever lettering I want. First I got to learn how to use the computer, which is going to be the next step, because I need to figure out what I'm going to do, what the design's going to be on these jars. But yeah, I'm going to be able to print it. How cool is that? Oh my God, it is attached. Jesus Christ. Can you hear that? Oh my God, can you hear that? It is dark. What are you looking at? It's been 4 hours. 4 hours of me trying to get two letters to line up and print. I've finally done it. And I had so many dramas along the way. But look, it is printing. It is actually printing. It's making the noises. And look at this. Look at this. Oh, this is done. It is actually done and cured, the test print. It is perfect in every way. How good. This was unbelievably difficult. Hang on, let me sit down. So, this came out fine. This is the test print. No dramas. Came out perfect. Right, so this is what happened. I've never used Blender before. I've always wanted to learn, because I've always thought it'd be beneficial to do this, to do printing and stuff like that. I haven't sat and done a course or anything like that. I don't know anyone who knows how to teach me Blender or knows how to use Blender. So what I did is I thought, right, simple enough. We're doing these glass jars. How hard can it be to put some text on a glass jar, right? Haven't even got to that bit yet, actually. How hard is it to get some text? Turns out quite difficult when you don't know what you're doing. Every single step of every single thing that I did just went wrong. Didn't work. Once it's just learning. That's all it is. Just I couldn't get the text to curve properly, and then I did get it to curve properly, but now it's distorting on other axes. I've got it to just stop distorting on other axes. All right, now it's not thick enough. I figured out the thickness side of things. Now it's not to scale. I figured out the scale side of things. Now it's looking like paper mache, like it's all crinkly. I couldn't figure that problem out for the life of me. Like that took the longest. That was maybe 2 hours straight of just trying to resolve that problem. And then, this wouldn't read the file. It found it, and then it wouldn't read it. Now, I probably should have checked this before, and this is my own fault. This printer, I got it, I think, back in like 2020, and it's now 2025, and I haven't used it. It was old software. That was the issue. Old firmware on old software, whatever you want to call it. It was on there, it didn't read it. I since updated it, it's now happy, it's reading it, no dramas at all. And now it's printing. This print's a bit of a test print. I've got the letters BS because all of this has been absolute BS, and it also stands for baking soda. I've got them printing in a few different orientations to see which looks best, because they can't even really see the print lines on this, but I'm sure you will on a bigger, flatter surface. So we're just gonna print a heap load and see what it looks like and go from there. Oh, actually, I should just quickly reason why I've done the 2 letters thing. So my plan was, I was originally going to write the whole thing out, but then like I thought it just wouldn't look good and it wouldn't turn out quite right, and like I didn't know how to make the text what sizes and stuff, and then you would have different like length things. Obviously you could stack the words on top of each other, but anyway. So because you only see, you know, one side of the jar when it's in here, it's like, you know, maybe if I just put the initials of the whatever it is onto it, we should be fine. Like, you know, raw sugar, RS, brown sugar, BS. Oh, that's BS as well. But it's brown, so look, you can't, like, let's be real, you're not going to mix those up, are you? Good morning. It didn't work. Last night I had a failed print. Just before I went to bed I thought I'd check it. It had produced this, just nothing. It was basically just the scaffolding stuff. So restarted it, I cleaned it all out, restarted it. Same things happened this morning. I've changed the model a little bit. I've also changed the Z axis, or where the home is on it. People have reported that it can get a bit stuck, and I did hear it sticking last night. Like every now and again you'll hear the plate come down, and then, you know, you would hear a crack and it would be stuck to it, and then as it came up, that's when you heard the crack. Fingers crossed it works this time. Because this takes a long time to print.
Look! It did it! Oh my god!
We finally did it. Holy crap. Holy crap. Oh my god. Oh my. It has been a minute. For you it hasn't been a minute. For me it's been many minutes. What an absolute nightmare. What an absolute nightmare. Let's get you catched up, right? First print, the test print, works beautifully. Came out, nothing really wrong with it. It's fine, okay? This is only some of my failings. I'm gonna go for a rant, right? This is all because I'm an idiot. The whole reason none of this worked is because I have no idea, or at least had no idea what I'm doing. I didn't even know if I know what I'm doing now. I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. I've got no idea. It's working, so I'm not gonna change anything. I am astounded at how difficult this was for me to learn. Like, I like to think when it comes to learning a new skill, I'm pretty good. Like, I think I'm reasonable at learning. Apparently not when it comes to this. This has been a nightmare. So the day that, we're getting the days, the day that I had the idea that gonna do resin printing was now 4 days ago. This is now the 4th day. I spent 2 whole days troubleshooting, plus a bit of that first day. 2 whole days troubleshooting. And it wasn't until the 3rd day and at night that I finally figured it out and got to a design that I'm okay with. It's still not perfect, but I'm okay with it. So let's see what happens. A few prints go by. I get this one. That looks like it could be a thing. It looks massive, but it could be a thing. Then I realised something. Why is it printing to the edge of the printer? This is like the end of the 2nd day, right? Why is it printing to the edge of the printer, of the print bed? My model's close to the edge of the print bed, but it's not on the print bed edge. All right, well, let's redo it. Let's re-download the software. That didn't work, okay. Let's try updating the printer again. So, turns out, when you get the software, the programs to run, there's 3 different programs to run on the printer to update it. There's a README text in there. Me, being an absolute dumbass and rushing these things, I read it as, do the first program, if that doesn't work, try the next one, right? That's not what it says. It says do the first one, and then because your printer, we're not 100% sure what frickin', I don't know, whatever it uses, try this next one on top of the first one, and if that next one doesn't work, try the following one, and then it'll be up to date. Turns out if you don't do both programs, you get this massive scaling issue, and so that just ended up wasting a heap load of resin because I couldn't. Anyway, let's have a look how these look on glass jars. I've actually changed, because baking soda and brown sugar are going to have the same BS on them. I've actually changed what baking soda says to BIS for bicarb soda. Something like that. Do I love it? No. Am I going to change it? No. So we had a bit of an issue with the M here. We had a bit of a mishap. It's not very thick, so it's not overly surprising. But I'm hoping we can just glue it on. If we can't just glue it on, I'm proficient enough with the printer that I can just reprint it. That's no dramas. The next thing we got to do is decide on colour. I could keep them white, but I'm not a huge fan of how they've turned out just as it is. Like, I mean, they look fine, but they're not the smoothest things, and that would mean I'd have to go through and sand them all and everything like that. Or I can just whack them with a high fill primer. So that's what we're going to do. We'll put a high fill primer on it. And then I was hoping to get browns. That was my plan, was to get a couple of browns. These are the 2 options I had. And I didn't realise, but this one's a metallic, and it might turn out to be a bit of a happy accident.
Painted that inside. Now hailing. Oh no, it's even hailing on the desk. I haven't used hot glue gun. Freaking forever.
It doesn't look that good. If anything, the letters are too big, but I'm not changing it. Yeah, there you go. Bicarb soda. Do you know how long it took to stick those on? Do you know how long this project has taken? This is a week. Look, honestly, I'm not that upset. This has been a pretty good way to get into 3D printing. I'm gonna now do it to all the other jars. Probably won't like it, but that's okay. I can now distinguish the differences. It's something a little bit unique, and it's got me into 3D printing and getting everything like that out. Wasn't the goal. It was meant to look nice, but that didn't go to plan at all. There it is. This is a letter P. So let's talk Dad's present. Dad's first name, his name is Patrick. We're going to, well, that doesn't look very well. We're going to make a big letter P out of some wood. and then it's going to be like a plaque, and then we're going to staple or glue or do whatever our little letters onto it that we've been 3D printing. A silly or foolish person. So we're going to put the words on the number 1 nitwit.
How good is that?
So here's the final result. Look, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. As like a little fun side joke gift to get Dad as well on the side for Father's Day. I think it's pretty funny. Something you can just stick up in his shed, you know, out the way. Something a bit random, a bit different, and it didn't take long to make. The longest thing was probably printing the letters, but that was really quick in itself. So I am pretty happy with how it turned out, quite frankly. We ended up going with the blue, a slightly darker blue, because we all, us boys, us children of his, all get our blue eyes from him. So I thought, you know, that's probably the best color to pick. And I left the wood the same. I just sort of clear coated it, so it just sort of stays that color for longer. But yeah, overall, I think it looks quite funny. I quite enjoy it. I quite like it, and it's sort of, I think that pretty well accurately wraps what this very peculiar video has been with these printers, with the resin printer. I wasn't expecting to go down this path at all. Not at all. Not the slightest bit. I've wanted to get into printing and modeling and everything like that for quite some time now. I mean, like I bought this back 5 years ago. And I'm super glad that I've done it now. I probably should have just, you know, maybe done a project or some online course or something to break myself into it, because it was a steep learning curve just to produce some curved letters. And I should have troubleshooted some more. So I've ended up just on the side, I made this plaque as well. I should have done something like this for the jars, and you know, with the extra surface area and everything like that that's on the back, it would have stuck a lot better and just been better on the jars, I think, and maybe just painted the letters individually on top of that. Look, we've stuck the letters on that we have made with hot glue. They're probably going to fall off. I'm going to be able to do stuff to it in the future. So, not completely out the table, but look, it was a fun learning curve to begin with, something fun to do. Just a, you know, a helpful thing that I needed to get done at some point, and you know, I'm sure it will stay around for hopefully at least a couple months before they all fall off, and we can use them and get some use out of them until then, and before we have to replace them. But yeah, I think that's going to be a bit of a wrap up there. I'm just going to go through, everything's drying at the moment, so I've pretty much cleaned everything up. We're all pretty happy. The Father's Day gift turned out all right, so I'm pretty chuffed. As much as I was swearing and carrying on and moaning and whinging and all the likes, I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out. So that's pretty cool. Nothing's of amazing quality, but hey, I started to learn something, which is great. I'm worried too that hot glue is not going to glue the thing to glass. I've never hot glued something to glass before, but I'm worried that the glass is going to be too smooth. So once I press these on, it's just going to come off, or if you just knock it, it'll come off. I knew it was going to happen.